I'm going to work another flake tonight. And then I'm going to call it quits early. Yeah. This one is a heat treat. It's got some issues, but I don't think it will make a difference. I napped some of this earlier and it was pretty good. Even though it looks kind of bad. Yeah. We'll see. I got a bunch of these kinds of flakes. Yeah, that's a little better. Mm-hmm. So I've been trying to catch up on sleep. Oops, I was able to sleep today. Yeah, this has some issues near the cortex. You can see. I can make small points, but let's see. Let's get another one. This is a heat treat also. It's got a big inclusion in it. Let's see if this works. Yeah. All right, we're going to change it up a little bit. That's the way it goes. Man, that's pretty bad. I got to throw that out. All right. What else do we have? Triangular piece again? Yeah, I got a bunch of this clunky stuff. Oh, yeah. I think this is a heat treat. Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah. I have been away from napping for a couple days and I already forgot how to take it easy on this stuff. I'm using a small bopper, so it was not a hard hit that broke this in half. It shouldn't be snap and half-ish, but I guess it is. Look at this, it's gray. I don't want to nap something gray. Let's see. I've been napping gray stuff all day. Yes, I did start earlier. I got a bunch of Georgetown. I got a bunch of this kind of stuff that I've been trying to make bifaces from. And look, and that's a different shade of gray, but I want to get something else. Let's see. Yeah, how about that? How about this? Yeah, it does make a difference when you've got different colors. Makes it more interesting. I gotta admit, it's more interesting when you've got different colors of material. Let's see how this one works. All right. Yeah, see? That's a little bit better. Although I think the other one I did on video was a tan colored shirt also. I got all my exotics over on the other side. but I haven't sorted through those. I've got a lot of small flakes mixed in. Exotics means the rare stuff. I've got some jasper over there. It's smaller flakes than this, though, mixed with really small flakes and other kinds of blocky material. Small blocky material. You know, kind of like this, but smaller. Blocky and triangular. I got a bunch of that stuff. Once a week, I try to go into my stash of various buckets of rocks and see if I can salvage anything that's easy. And then I end up with a bunch of buckets of difficult stuff after a few months. Yeah. So I've got a bunch of difficult stuff, which makes good videos, I suppose. As long as I feel like doing it. I've got a back order list. I'm doing those off camera so I can do them quickly. At least that's the theory. They don't seem to go as quickly as I want. Can't take shortcuts. You think you can nap something quickly, and then you mess up because you're going too fast. Yeah. Where's my little abrader? The little one, yeah. The little abrader for little stones. What is going on with this? It's inconsistent. It is a heat treat, but it's not that great. But this is, probably 80% of what I have. As far as heat treat goes, 80% of my heat treat looks good, but it's some spots are not that great. Inconsistent stuff. So that's what I normally nap. And when I say for beginners to use heat treat, it's going to be a little inconsistent because you won't be able to get the primo stuff. Not when you're new, because you won't be able to recognize what the good stuff is. You'll take someone else's word for it, which is fine, right? But you'll get heat treat that has some inconsistencies in it until you get good at figuring out how to heat treat yourself and spall your material and separate the good parts of the nodules that you're spalling from the bad parts, and probably end up doing what I do is just keep buckets of bad stuff for the last resort. Like if you move from a flint-rich state into a flint desert. Yeah. I moved from Texas to Vermont. Yep. Lots of flint and chert in Texas, but Vermont has almost none. Yeah, here goes the throat. Throat clearing throughout the whole video. Yeah, something. I don't know. I think I quit a long time ago trying to figure out exactly what causes my issues with my allergies. I just make sure I stock up on certain things, the nasal spray especially. Over-the-counter stuff. Yeah. But I try not to do it too much. I try not to use the over-the-counter stuff too much because you can build up resistance to it. You have to keep using more and more. Yeah. So what is it going to be? Is there a strategy? Is there a procedure? If I know what it's going to be, is there a procedure? Or does everything proceed in the same way? Well, not everything proceeds in the same way. It depends on how narrow the finished product is going to be. For one thing, yeah. If it's going to be if I'm reproducing something really narrow, then I have to go narrow early, or I'm just wasting time. Trim away a lot of material. Did they do that? Did they do that back in the day, or did it become narrow just out of necessity because they made a mistake and it's got to get more narrow? Kind of like what I do. If I'm working on it, on the work piece, and it starts to become too steppy and I can't run long flakes, I'll make it more narrow. But I think back in the day they just said, well, I just normally make narrow points, so even if it's good material, it saves time. Yep. The vast majority of points are narrow, which means they're like twice as long as they are wide. Or, 3 times longer than they are wide. 2 or 3 times longer than they are wide, and it's narrow. And most workpieces start out at about 1.5 inches, I would think. I got a lot of preforms and bifaces that are actual artifacts. Well, maybe not a lot of preforms, but I do have a lot of bifaces. And just by looking at them, most of them need a lot of work. And by the time they get whittled down to usable pieces, they're usually 1.5 inches wide by, 2 or 3 inches long. Yep. This is the type of heat treat that is a little bit tough, but it's a good thing until you start getting really thin, and then it starts to get to be a problem because you have to hit it hard to remove flakes. The perfect heat treat is flexible and easily flaked. It has less chance of breaking that way. Yeah. It's a bummer when you get hold of a lot of good heat treat and you end up breaking it all in the final stages. Yeah. If you can tolerate the aggravation, that will, get you in tune with how aggressive you need to be. Yeah. You gotta do it. Gotta go through a lot of breakages. Yeah, as a new napper, I would never have hit the stone as hard as I'm hitting it right now. So I would end up with, almondy pieces that are shaped like almonds. Anyway, what else do I talk about? Instead of the same old, same old. What time is it? It's not that late yet. I don't have any excuses. I should be able to nap this without breaking it. But it's getting it's getting to the point where it'll break at any time if I'm not if I'm not watching it. Hmm. And this requires this requires a lot of force to get the flakes to remove. All right, let's see. See if I can do this without crushing it. I used to get people that would say in the comment section, "It looks like that indirect percussion works pretty good on the small points. How does it work on the big ones?" Because I used to just make small points when I first started making videos. Now I don't get that question, which is good because it was aggravating. So yeah, I can do the bigger pieces. I just don't like to because it's a different mindset. I like working the small ones because it makes me feel a little bit closer to the stone, so to speak. I don't know why. And I don't have to flake it as much. It doesn't get too tedious. Yeah. With a big blade, there's a lot of flaking involved. Because with a big blade, this is just the tip section. You got the whole big old lower section to nap as well. As an example. Yeah. It's so much, I think it's so much more enjoyable that I don't have to nap it or flake it as much. Usually that makes, or that translates into it being faster. I can make these little ones faster. But for some reason, it doesn't work out that way. There is a little bit of speed. I gain a little bit of speed. But it seems I had to be a lot more picky. Dang it, this is not going to work. Is it? It seems like I got to be a little more careful with each strike and stuff with the smaller ones and more picky. Picky in terms of just little bitty flakes, and also I can't just whack on it without worrying about it. With a bigger piece, I can whack on it in the early stages and even in the middle and late stages without worrying too much about it snapping. This, if I lose track of the scale, if I lose track in my mind that this is just a little bitty piece, I can break it really, really easily. So what am I going to do about that lump right there? That lump, this situation is so common that I don't even worry about it. And it can function as an arrowhead with that on there. Yeah, you just sharpen it right now and it'll work. Yep, not a problem because it's not too bumpy. It's a little bit, but it's not too bumpy. It'll still work, especially at the ranges that most most archery occurs at, 20 yards or less. So I got rid of a lot of that. Did you see? Or did you miss it? You missed it. I didn't give you adequate warning or fair warning. Where was the lump? I don't know. Did you see a lump? I didn't see a lump. I think there was a lump on there somewhere. I'm going to make it more narrow. I'm trying to do this one by memory. This particular style is very difficult for me to imagine ahead of time what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah. There's a nice sound to it. I have to make this a teardrop shape if I want it to look right. Yeah. I'm going to take off these corners. You might say, no, you're wasting the material now. No, I always default to the triangular preform, and then from there I'll take it down to where it needs to be. Yeah, it's a little bit wasteful, but so what? So what? Yeah, it's so much easier to trim it with indirect percussion than with pressure. But I have to switch over to pressure here in a minute. Have to? Yep, I have to. Or else I won't like it. I'll start to not like it, and then I'll mess it up. Oh, and that's so nice when I'm careful. Yep. And that's so nice when I'm careful. Did you see? Or did you miss it? Probably missed it. Probably blurry too. Where was it? It was in there somewhere. There was a lump in there somewhere. I don't know where it was though. Easy come, easy go. That's what you gotta strive for. Mistakes easily come and easily go. Yep. After a while, I don't even worry about them. In most cases, yeah, but there's still a sweat stage because of the fact that the whole piece can break. Even if you're doing perfect flakes, you can still break the whole piece in half. Or whatever. Yeah. Okay, so that's the basic shape. Yeah, I'm going to refine it. Refine it with pressure. See if I can keep it from being blurry. I don't know why I worry about the blurry, because most of you guys skip this part anyway. Well, I don't know. I don't know about most. Many people skip this part. So what do I talk about except the same old, same old? I don't know. I don't have no topics on my mind. I don't have any topics. I wrote them down, so I just When I write them down, I tend to, intentionally forget. I don't want to be thinking about them all night. Yeah, I wrote them down for the next update video or channel news video. Yeah. It's no fun when I use up all my topics and then I can't think of anything for the news video. All right, let me think here. Yeah, this particular shape is so difficult for me to figure out what the preform should look like. I don't know why. I'm just going to wing it. I'm trying really hard to picture it in my brain. In my mind, I'm trying to figure out exactly how I should picture it. So hold on. I know the base is still too wide. Or the stem area. It's going to be serrated, so I got to leave room for the serration. So it's got to be taken down, but not taken down too much. Just in case I mess it up, I need to have some room, but not too much room. Yeah, usually I can figure out what the preform should look like way ahead of time, and it's not a problem. But for some reason on these, I guess since I haven't done very many of these, it's not that easy. Okay. Oh, come on. Alrighty. I ground it down too much. It's got some translucent spots in it. Perhaps. All right, maybe one more round of indirect percussion to thin it a little bit more. Maybe in some spots. Yeah, in some spots, but not all the spots. Okay. Just get out the lumps. Yep, that's good enough. Alrighty, here we go. Come on. Don't make me hit it too hard. That's scary. It's scary how hard I need to hit it. Yes, it is. I don't like all the lumps. They're harder for me to get out with pressure. Even though this is dicey, doing it with percussion. Come on. And when I'm striking, I'm not striking across it. I'm striking down this way. It makes it a little bit less risky if I strike down this way. But it doesn't always remove the kind of flake I want to remove. Why is it safer that way? I don't know. It just doesn't break as often if I angle the flakes. And maybe that's why a lot of the artifacts have flakes that are angled, you know, from the tip down to the base. See, I'm striking this way. If I strike across, I'm likely to snap it in half at this stage because of the amount of force I need. Oh, that was good. I thought I was not removing that one. It felt too easy. Yeah, see, this one is really, really difficult. Of course, my luck doesn't last. But you don't have to worry too much about these little ones. If you want to make them look realistic, a lot of the real ones are kind of wonky when they're this size. I think that's thin enough. Yeah, thin enough to get rid of all the issues with trying to thin it with pressure. I have issues when I try to thin it with pressure, but if it's already thin, there's no issues. Yeah. I'm going to do the stem on this first. That's what the hardest thing is for me to visualize. Everything else is not that bad. It's the stem that I have trouble with on this particular style. All right, so do it first. Do the worst first? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Is that good enough? I don't know. I don't like the metal marks. Dang it. But when you have to use inward pressure, what can you do? Dang it. That was not good. All right. Yeah, see, I got the metal mark here in the middle from pressing on it inwardly. And I took off an ear, so now I got to reshape this. Dang it. But it'll give me a chance to get rid of that metal mark. Yeah. See, it ends up being really persnickety with these small ones. So it takes just the same amount of time as the other ones. Well, the first one is the hardest. Yeah, once I get used to it, it's not that bad. All right. Too much fussing is not good. Okay. You know what? I don't want it to be too flakery. Yeah. Okay. Don't be stalling on me. What seems to be the problem? I think something's off. Let me see. Yeah, I already forgot how to notch. That's what happened. This has probably got a burr on it. Or a fold over. I didn't even check. I just assumed that. Let's see if it'll grab the edge better. Yeah. See, you see how I'm using the spatula tool, right, to grab the edge? Okay, come on. There it goes. I just need one pop out on the other side. That's it. Don't need to be greedy. Some of you might be thinking, that's it, just crunch it in. Yeah, that's the way I do it. That's it. Bunch of crunch and munch. Sounds like I'm chewing my way through. That's basically what's happening. Nibbling or chewing the way through. And one final pop out on the other side. Yeah. Like that. Yeah. Okay. Now I just got to work on the edge a little bit, and then I'll put in the other serrations. Let's sharpen it up a little bit, so we know where the final edge is going to be. And thin down that edge where it needs to get thinner. Let's see. Yeah. Luckily, this chart allows me to push on it when it's still a little bit sharp. Strong enough I can push on a real thin edge without crushing. Okay. Something's outside the shop. I should turn the fan on. Well, I would have the fan on if I wasn't making a video. It's still 70, 75 degrees in here. It cools down really quick, except in the shop. Outside is probably like 60. Cool weather's coming. I'm excited. I had enough hot weather to last more than one lifetime. Come on. I think the tip of this flaker is getting hardened. All right. It's slipping off the edge. Where was I? All right, so I'm just regularizing the edge, thinning it down a little bit. Come on. Copper wouldn't be slipping this much. Steel is a lot less maintenance. All right, so let me think here. Yeah, this is a needle tipped point. So let's get that set up. And I can figure out where to thin it later. Yeah. I'm going to thin it in some spots. You know, like up here on this side. We'll wait till I get to that in a little bit. We'll work on the serrations right now. Yeah, after doing a bunch of these, I can see where it would get easier. All right, so where am I going to put the serrations? I'll just start at the bottom and work up. Got Mr. Motorcycle next door. It's not Friday night. What are they doing out there? I missed the memo. They changed their motorcycle night to Thursday night. Dang it. Dang, they sound so close. It sounds like they're in my front yard. This is starting to develop a burr again. Let's see if we can see it. Just the slightest rollover, and it starts to become difficult to notch. Okay. It's got to be smooth all the way up to the top. Yeah. Just that little subtle difference. There it goes. The subtle difference allows you to bite into the edge. Without too much problems. Yeah. All right, this is where it starts to become very steep. So let's do the steep. I don't know about steep, or what. I don't know what you're supposed to call it. Incurvate. I think that's it. Why did they go through so much trouble making a design on these? I have no idea. I wish I knew. It seems so silly. But it was a useful arrowhead many minutes ago. But no, they go through all this extra stuff. Yeah, it's crunch and munch. I'm not supposed to be crunching munching up here near the tip. Inside the notches isn't too bad because it's just a notch. Near the tip is more of an aesthetic. effect. If I mess it up here, it looks dumb. Got a little crack right there. What is that? It's a flake. It's a step fracture. I think I got it. It's going to make it very delicate, though. Yeah. Oh, well. Mm-hmm. 51 minutes. See? Still takes forever. Oh, yeah. It's just because it's the first one in a long time. I haven't made something like this in a while. Come on, this tip is on the tool is too large. Yeah, almost too large for this. Yeah, there's skunks outside my door here in the shop. I just heard one of them squeak. They're fighting over something. I didn't put out much today. Usually I throw the scraps out of the kitchen window. And there they go. They eat it all up really quick and disappear. But they're still hanging around. The skunks. Yeah, they squeak when they fight each other. But they don't really fight. They just kind of push each other around and nip at each other. They got sharp teeth. Dang it. That's crunchy right there. All right, so here we go. We're going to finish it up. Yeah. Come on. That's it. Or maybe that's not a skunk. Maybe it's actual rats. I saw a rat the other day, or yesterday. Yeah, I don't like these. Don't like how these are turning out. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, I need to get clean pop outs or else it doesn't look right. Luckily, the pop outs were clean right there. Well, kind of, sort of. Yeah, that's why it's important to get the edges clean before you do this. Doing serrations and damage control at the same time is not all that fun. I wonder if it'd be easier with the rounded tip. Oh well. Too late now. And yeah, all these edges are supposed to be sharp, even the edges of the serrations, so I gotta be careful not to grind down the edge too much. Because I can dull the edge with the flaker. So I gotta be careful not to dull the edge with the flaker. I have to make the edge kind of dull for the next pop out. But that's it. Gotta be selective. Does that look right? Somehow I know what I gotta do. Never mind. Yeah, because the base doesn't look right. But I know what I'm going to have to make these concave in here too. Yeah. You'll see. Yeah, talking about sharp teeth. This arrowhead has sharp teeth. Come on. Yeah. Nothing like good quality stuff, because when you start getting stuck, you don't want it to be acting up on you. If you have good quality stone, you can damage control it. Yeah. All right. We're almost there yet. That spot is still crunchy. Nope, like that. Dang it. Okay. I see where this is going. Yeah, like that. So I don't have to push as hard. There you go. It was slipping. Come on. Yes, no, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't have to be symmetrical. I think the side notches need to be wider, or I'm going to expand them out. Yeah. These are the actual hafting notches. Okay. I think these are concave. Or there's something off. Let me think here. Well, let's deepen the notch. Maybe that's it. Deepen the central notch, or expand it out. Where did it go? There it is. Anyways, I'll see when I look at the book again. I didn't bring the book, or it's actually not a book, it's from a website. When I look at the website, I'll be able to see what I can improve on for the next one. Yeah. All that work just for this fancy design. Don't ask me why they did it. Because I know you will ask, but I don't know. I don't know why. Is that it? I don't know. Still doesn't look right. But it works. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it. It's got all the features that I think it has. The deep side notches, the deep central basal notch, a bunch of serrations, and the needle tip. Yeah. It's got everything. It just doesn't look quite like I wanted it to. I gotta take a snapshot with a dark background so I can see. My hand doesn't cast enough of a shadow. Does it? No. Let me see what I can do. Can't do that. That doesn't work. That works pretty good. All right, so I'll take a picture like that. So there you go. All right. Yeah, there you go. That's it.